In a surprising twist that has captured the attention of both boxing and MMA fans, Mike Tyson has voiced strong support for UFC President Dana White's potential foray into the world of boxing. Tyson, who has seen the ups and downs of the sport over his long career, believes White's no-nonsense, high-stakes approach to promoting fights could be exactly what boxing needs to regain its former glory. White, known for turning the UFC into a global powerhouse, has long been linked to boxing, despite his famously mixed feelings about the business side of the sport. Though White initially planned to break into boxing with Zuffa Boxing, he later described the industry as a broken business that's challenging to navigate. Yet, with each passing year, White seems closer to finally making the leap, and the idea has Tyson genuinely excited. He sees White's approach as revolutionary, a breath of fresh air that could inject a renewed sense of competitiveness and quality control into boxing. Tyson didn't hold back in explaining why he feels White's entry could be the best thing to happen to boxing in decades. Citing the UFC's commitment to delivering only high-caliber fights, Tyson remarked, "If you're in UFC and if anybody's booing the fight, you're not going to see that guy. His next fight is going to be in South Dakota somewhere. Only good fights." Tyson pointed out how, in the UFC, fighters who underperform don't get the same stage again, a system designed to keep the audience engaged and ensure the quality of matches. It's this commitment to consistent, action-packed bouts that Tyson feels boxing has been missing. He observed that boxing, in contrast, sometimes features fighters who fail to excite the crowd, yet continue to get high-profile matches. For Tyson, this is a flaw that could be remedied with White's signature approach, which prioritizes fan satisfaction and cuts through the politics that often plague boxing. The legendary fighter sees White as a transformative figure who could change the business landscape in boxing just as he did in MMA. White's influence helped MMA shed its image as a niche sport and turned the UFC into a respected mainstream organization with a global following. Tyson believes White could bring that same level of discipline, organization, and entertainment value to boxing, helping it reach new audiences while bringing back those who may have drifted away. Tyson's endorsement is a big one. Few people understand the complexities of boxing better than he does. Having lived through the golden age of the sport and seen it change over the decades, Tyson knows firsthand the issues that have plagued boxing: mismanagement, inconsistent fight quality, and a lack of cohesion between promotions. The timing of Tyson's support is especially poignant as he gears up for his own highly anticipated fight against social media star Jake Paul on November 15th. Originally slated for July, the match was delayed due to a medical issue, and it's now set to be Tyson's first competitive fight since his official retirement in 2005. Tyson, who is 58, faces a challenger 31 years his junior, a YouTuber-turned-boxer who has been training hard to prove himself as a legitimate fighter. While Tyson respects Paul's journey and acknowledges his improvement over the years, he's quick to remind fans that he played a role in launching Paul's boxing career, saying, "I started him off. I let him fight on my undercard 4 years ago. No one knew who the hell he was. So I started him, and most likely it looks like I'm going to finish him." His words carry the weight of a seasoned pro who sees the fight as not just a competition, but a symbolic passing of the torch, or perhaps a final show of dominance from a legend. Meanwhile, White's continued interest in boxing has kept fans and insiders guessing. While he hasn't confirmed any specific plans, his involvement with past events, such as co-promoting the groundbreaking Floyd Mayweather vs. Conor McGregor bout in 2017, has shown that he has the connections and influence to draw major attention to the sport. That event alone demonstrated how the worlds of MMA and boxing could collide in a way that appeals to audiences from both disciplines. It was one of the highest-grossing boxing events in history, largely due to White's promotional prowess and the unique blend of spectacle and competitive tension it offered. Tyson sees White's potential to harness this crossover appeal as a game-changer for boxing, which could benefit immensely from new ideas and fresh perspectives. White's approach, rooted in a belief in meritocracy and fan-focused programming, aligns with Tyson's vision for the sport's future. Tyson envisions a boxing landscape where only the best fighters rise to the top, where promoters prioritize the fans' experience over politics, and where fighters know they must perform or lose their place in the spotlight. His confidence in White's ability to enact this vision speaks volumes about his faith in White's track record and the potential for change in boxing's future. The support Tyson is lending to White's potential entry into boxing is not just a reflection of his belief in White's abilities, it's also a commentary on Tyson's hopes for the sport that shaped his life. As Tyson steps into the ring once more to face Paul, he isn't just fighting to win, he's fighting for the integrity of boxing, for its revival, and perhaps even for its future under new visionary leadership. Tyson's faith in White may come from a place of nostalgia, hoping that the sport can regain the vigor and popularity it once had. But it's also a nod to White's modern, disciplined methods and a belief that the changes he brought to MMA could revitalize boxing for a new generation. In Tyson's eyes, this upcoming fight with Paul might symbolize a turning point. He's the old guard, a symbol of boxing's golden era, facing off against a new breed of fighter whose journey began not in the gritty gyms but online. And with White potentially stepping into boxing's future, Tyson's legacy may not just be defined by his own victories in the ring, but by his support for a transformative vision that could shape the sport for years to come. Whether or not Tyson emerges victorious against Paul, his support of White's boxing ambitions may represent his hope for a new golden age in boxing, one defined by the grit, quality, and excitement that first made him fall in love with the sport.